I'm Veronica and welcome to Jersey City Pilates. Today's class, not in Jersey City, it is High Energy Pilates, and you will move to the beat of the music, and I'll give some modifications as you go through, but you can either go at the same pace I'm going, or you can slow it down and go at whatever pace works for you. Hope you enjoy. Okay, come to all fours on your mat, have your hands right underneath your shoulders, knees right underneath your hips, and then just tuck your tailbone under, reach your low back behind you, draw your sitting bones down the back of your legs, and then let your head fall down towards the ceiling. Shake your head yes, and shake your head no, and then come back into a little arch. Keep your abdominals drawing away from the floor and your ribs connected towards your hips, and then draw your hips towards your ribs as you curl your spine all the way back up towards the ceiling again. And one more time, coming through into your extension. Feel the heels of your hands pull back towards your knees and lift your chest through your arms and curl your tailbone back under. Two more. You can go at whatever pace feels nice for you. And one more. And then you're going to come to find your nice neutral position, and then extend your left leg back behind you, right arm in front of you, and then float your arm and leg up, reach your fingers and toes away from one another, pick your left hip up so your hips are square, and then round your spine, come in underneath you, draw your elbow towards your knee, but you don't need to touch. You can stay in parallel, or they can touch. It doesn't really make a difference. And then extend. Three more, rounding your spine up towards the ceiling, drawing your ribs towards your hips, and extend. Last one. And extend, and then lower that arm and leg down. Extend your right leg back behind you, left leg or left arm out in front, float them up, and then round your spine as they draw in towards the center, and then extend. Press through all the fingers on your right hand, and then extend. Four more. 3, 2, and last one. And then extend your arm and leg long, lower your hand, lower your knee. And then from here, keep yourself in a nice neutral spine. Keep reaching your head and tailbone away from one another, and then let your sternum fall towards the ground. Your shoulder blades come towards your spine, and then open your shoulder blades, lift your chest. And then everything stays still except your shoulder blades are just sliding back and forth. Keep drawing your ribs towards your hips on the front of your body as you lift and lower. 4 more. 3, 2. Last one, keep reaching your head long, and then extend your right arm, left leg, and then round and draw it in underneath your body. Hold for a second, and then extend it long, and then round in. And extend. Trying to keep your weight evenly distributed across your body, using your whole shin, your foot, your hands, your knee. 3 more. 2. And last one. Hold it out and then tap it down and lift for 4, 3, 2. Last one. Bring it in and switch sides. Reach your right arm, right leg, left arm. Float it up. And then come in and hold for just one breath. And then extend and bend it in. And extend. And as you extend, feel the lift come from the back of your thigh where your hamstring meets your glute. 3 more. 2. Last one, keep it extended and then tap it down for 4 and lift for 3, 2, and last one. And then bring your knee and hand underneath you and come to sit on your mat. Plant your feet and then lower yourself down onto the ground. Bring your hands behind your head. And then just before you start, feel your back ribs be heavy on the mat, your tailbone heavy on the mat. You're in a nice neutral pelvis. And then hands behind your head. Let your head be heavy in your hands and slide your ribs toward your hips as you nod your chin and lift up and then lower back down. Think about this slide of your ribs towards your hips in the front of your body. Your shoulder blades lift off the mat and your gaze more or less stays looking at your thighs, and then we'll go up to your knees, not looking up the ceiling behind you. 3 more. 2. Last one. And then lift yourself all the way up, extend your feet a little bit farther in front of you, and you're gonna drop your knees to one side, your hands to the other. And rotate from the ribs rather than your hips. And if you're feeling like you wanna work even harder, pick your hands, not your hands, your feet up off the floor and rotate your knees from one side to the other. 2 more. Last one. And then bring your heels in towards your butt, round your spine, press your hands into your shins into your hands, and round your low back, draw your abdominals in until you roll back, pause at the top, and then again, tuck your tailbone under, really draw your abdominals in. 1 more. Last one. Stay down, hands behind your head, lift your head, neck, and shoulders, dive your ribs towards your hips. 3 more. 2. Legs are nice and still when you're doing this. Last one. Lifting up, knees to one side, arms to the other. Rotating from the ribs. And if at any point you need to slow down or modify, I'll give modifications throughout. 1 more to each side. Grab onto your heel or shins, heels in towards your butt, round your spine, round your low back, and then fall back just towards the tips of your shoulder blades, not onto your head or neck. 3 more. Make sure you take a second to pause at the top and then roll back. 2. Ooh, my mat is sliding with me. 1 more, whatever. And then plant your feet, come all the way back down, hands back behind your head. And again, lifting your head, neck, and shoulders up. Legs are still, you're staying in that neutral pelvis. 4 more. 3, 2. Last one, lifting up, knees to one side, feet to the other. 1 more time to each side. Good. And then come back onto your back. Bring your legs into tabletop. Arms up towards the ceiling. And then press your head, neck, and shoulders down. Lift everything up. Ribs are drawing towards your hips. You can be in a sweet spot. Your low back press. 2. Pump out the arms. Inhaling as you breathe and exhaling. Or as you pump, rather. You are inhaling, exhaling as you breathe. 3 more. 2. Last one. Extend your legs long. Reach your arms and round all the way up over your legs. And then roll all the way back down. Reach your arms up overhead. Back ribs press back. Start to roll up. And then over your legs. Keep drawing your ribs towards your hips. And hips towards your ribs, depending on what direction you're moving in. Neck stays, or chin stays lightly hovering off your chest. And you can kind of follow your arms. Last one, you're gonna stay all the way back down. Bend your knees and start to pump again. Lower back presses into the mat, or you're in the neutral position, either one, whatever feels better for your body, and you are staying in the same position for 3, 2. Last one, legs come long, reach your arms, roll all the way up, and then curl your spine back down 1 vertebrae at a time, reach your arms overhead, and then press down, let your arms help you come up. Drawing your ribs towards your hips, opening up through the front of the hips. Last one. Bring your knees into your chest and then pump the arms. For 5, 4, 3, 2. Last one. Extend your legs long. Start to pump your arms here. Lift your right leg up. Draw your low back in towards the mat. Bring your left leg to meet it for 4, 3, 2, 1. Bend your knees. And pump. For 3, 2. Last one, extend your legs long, reach your arms up overhead, stretch out the front of your body for 1 second, draw your back ribs towards the floor, and then we're gonna roll all the way up, reaching over your legs, and then roll back down slowly 1 vertebrae at a time. 3 more just like this.
I live my day as if it was the last, live my day as if there was no past, doing it all night, all summer.
Press your arms down, use your armpits and your back as you're coming up. Thinking about pressing through molasses or something. This time you're going to come down onto your back and float your legs up and pump with your legs straight or bent, your choice. For 5, 4, 3, 2, last one. And then extend your legs long, reach up overhead, stretch out the front of your body. And you're going to come onto, you're going to bring your right leg in towards your chest. I broke. And then lift your head, neck, and shoulders up. Your left leg reaches long, and then you're going to slowly switch legs from one side to the other. Low back presses into the mat here. Shoulder blades are off the mat if you can. Holding onto your leg. Moving nice and slowly. If you have to put your head down at any point, go for it. You can still do the same thing. 3 more. 2. Last one. And then bring your hands behind your head, both legs in towards your chest, and then rotate up and over towards one leg. And then come back to the center, pause. Twist and rotate. Pause in the center. Twist and rotate. Keep thinking about pressing your low back into the mat. 3 more to each side. 2. Last one. Grab onto your right leg, extend it long, reach your left leg long towards the wall in front of you, and then switch sides. Grabbing anywhere on that leg and step directly behind your knee, so whether it's the thigh or the ankle, doesn't matter. 3 more. And you can pick up the pace for 2. Last one, bring your hands behind your head, rotate up and over with straight legs. Like a little scissor. You can make this as big or as small as you want for 3. 2. Last one. Bring your knees into your chest, rock back and forth from one side to the other, and extend your legs long. Reach your hands overhead. We're going to roll up one more time. Reach long over your legs. And then roll all the way back down. Bring both legs in towards your chest. Extend your arms and legs long, circle them around. And again, you can do this with your head on the ground. Have your legs go somewhere between a 45 and a 90-degree angle, not any lower. Your back doesn't change. 3, 2, last one. Pause with your legs in tabletop. Lower your head if it isn't already lowered. And then you're just going to tap one toe down, and then the other, and then lower the other leg. You don't actually have to tap the floor. Think about moving from the thigh. And switch. 4 more. And if this is too much on your neck or your low back, you can always bring your hands behind your head and lift up. Just keep the shape of your leg the same, regardless of what's happening, whether your upper body is lifted or not. 1 more time each side. Last one. Bring your left leg in towards your chest, lift your head, neck, and shoulders, and switch. Nice and slowly bringing one leg in and then the other. For 3, 2, last one. Hands behind your head and twist. You will get a break from being in flexion after the song's over. 3, 2, last one. Bring your knees in towards your chest and rock back and forth from one side to the other. And then come on to, oh, sorry, you're staying on your back. We're gonna do some bridging here. So plant your feet on the ground, make sure your head is flat on the floor, and then press your hands in towards the mat, your upper arms as well, and then feel the external corners of your shoulders roll out with your chest nice and open. Knees are in line with your hips. Bring your hip bones towards your wrists, And then peel yourself off the floor one vertebrae at a time. Shoulders stay down, and then peel yourself all the way back down again. Release the hips at the bottom, and then curl your tailbone under, lift back up. 3 more. 2. And go at whatever pace feels good for you. And find yourself in a neutral pelvis at the bottom, and here you're just going to lift and lower your hips. You can make this as big or as small as you'd like. Make sure that your knees are tracking directly in line with your hips and they're not falling out to the side. Pressing evenly through your big toe and your pinky side of your foot. 4 more. 3, 2. Last one, pause with your hips at the top. Find a neutral position. You can just be in a hover off the floor, and then you're going to bring your right leg into tabletop and then lower it down. Marching here, staying in your bridge. Using your upper body to help distribute the weight evenly. Your hips stay nice and square. They don't drop as you lift. 3 more. 2. Last one. Good. Pause with your right leg up and extend it long, bend it in. For 4. 3. 2. Last one, lower that leg down. Curl your tailbone down one vertebrae at a time. And then go back to peeling your spine up. And then gently lowering it all the way back down. Really rolling through your whole low back. Articulating your bridge as much as possible. 2 more. Last one. Pause at the top, and then you're going to start to march again, this time starting with your left leg rather than your right. Gently lowering your foot back down to the ground, and if it's too much to lift your whole leg, just lift the heel one at a time. One side and then the other for 4. 3, 2. Last one, keep your left leg lifted, extend it long, bend it in. For 6. 4, 3, hips stay square. 2. Last one, lower that leg down, lift your right heel, lift your left. Alternating one heel and then the other. Think about pressing your ankle forward as you lift that heel for 4. 2. Last one. And then peel your spine down one vertebrae at a time. Bring your knees into your chest and gently rock back and forth from one side to the other. And then grab on behind your thighs, roll yourself up, and come onto your left side. Have your hand planted right underneath your elbow, or not your elbow, well, your elbow and your shoulder. And then just have your knees stacked, and then you're going to bring your top leg out and just reach up overhead. Take a nice side bend. Reach your hips up towards the ceiling. And then just lower yourself all the way down. And then one more time, come all the way up, just getting a nice bend to your right side. And then lower yourself all the way down. Have your heels in line with your butt, and you're just gonna open your leg into a clamshell. Ribs are drawn away from the floor. You're lifting up through your shoulder, your armpit rather. Your hips are stacked. You can also bring your hand onto your right glute and just make sure that it's not falling back or forward as you're opening and lowering that leg. 3 more. 2. Last one. You can stay lifted if you'd like, or you can come all the way down onto your side. You're gonna lift your leg in line with your hip, and then you're gonna come into a bicycle. So extend your leg back or in front of you, and then back behind you, opening up through the hip, bend it, and then extend it forward. And if you're all the way down on your side, it's the same thing. You're just not holding yourself up, and it'll look like this. 3, 2. Last one. Sweep that leg forward. Reverse your circle for 6. Keep your ribs drawing towards your hips in the front so you're not arching and rounding through the low back. You want to stay pretty stable for your whole upper body. Keep lifting through the ribs on that left side, or whatever side is down. Last one. And then come back with your knees stacked one on top of the other, and then open your top leg out to the side for 5. 4, 3, keep lifting through your bottom ribs. Last one. And then extend your legs long, extend your arm long, reach overhead, and then you're gonna press your bottom hand into the floor, lift your legs and your top arm, and then lower back down. And you may find you have to roll back slightly onto your butt a little so that you're not totally on your hip bone, but press down and lift the bottom armpit as well. Last one. And then lower all the way down. You can roll over onto your other side. Knees are stacked on your hand to start, and just take that nice side bend on your other side, and then lower all the way down, and lift back up. And lower all the way back down, coming onto your ribs, and start with that clamshell. So heels are in line with your glutes, your hips are stacked, ribs are lifted away from the floor on that other side. And if it's helpful, you can also keep your hand on your bottom ribs, just to keep thinking about lifting it up. 2, last one. Lift your leg in line with your hip, whether you're on your side or up on your arm. And then sweep it forward, bend, and press back, opening up to the front of your hip, and then come back around. Ribs are drawing towards your hips. Your bicycle can be small or huge, doesn't matter. And then bend at the knee, reverse. 3, 2, last one. And then bend at the knee, going for your clamshell for 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. Last one, lowering all the way down onto that side. Right hand presses into the floor. Lift your legs, lift your arm, and lower back down. With control, 4 more. 3, 2, last one, and then lower all the way down, roll onto your back. Extend your right leg long, left leg is pressing into the floor. You're gonna lower your leg down and then lift it up. Your head is gonna stay down. You can point and flex as you lift and lower if you'd like, for 4, 3, 2, last one. Lift it up, lift your left arm up, bring your right hand behind your head, reach your head, neck, and shoulders up, and then lower your arm and leg away from one another, and then reach it up. If you touch it, it's fine. If you don't, it's fine. So you have your right leg and your left arm. And then again, you can add the point and flex for 3, 2, bring your left ribs over to your right hip. Last one. And then point, bend the right leg, lift the left, and now you're gonna switch sides. Just start with the point and flex. Flex as you lower, point as you lift, or the other way around if you want. Don't worry about your leg being straight, just keep it in the same position the whole time. 4, 3, neutral pelvis. Last one, reach your arm, reach your leg, hand behind your head. So right arm, left leg, extend, and extend. For 5, 4, 3, 2. Last one. Bring your knees in towards your chest. Hold on behind the thighs. Press your thighs into your hands, and you're gonna lift yourself up into a teaser. So support your legs with your hands, and then bend your knees and curl all the way back. And then press your hands into your thighs. Lift. And then bend your knees. Keep pressing your legs into your hands as you bend so that you can help control your down. And it's less of a flop onto the floor. Last one. And then lower all the way back down. Left leg points, right leg, left arm, reach, and lower. Hand can be behind your head, or you can keep your head on the floor, doesn't matter. Left ribs over towards your right hip for 4, 3, 2. Last one. Switch sides. 4 more. No, not 4. Like, now 4 more. 3, 2. Last one. Hands behind your thighs. Press your thighs into your hands. Lift yourself up into a teaser. Lift your chest between your arms. Extend your arms long. And hold for 1 breath. And then lower yourself all the way down, or your legs all the way down. Sit up nice and tall. So here, let your legs bend, have them about as wide as your mat, and then have your arms extend out in front of you and think that you're sitting up against a wall. And if you need to sit cross-legged, sit however works for you. And then you're gonna reach your spine up and over like you're rounding over a beach ball. So your low back doesn't round, it's just your upper back. And then stack your spine up one vertebrae at a time and let your head find its spot on top of your spine. And then nod your chin round, forward, up and over, starting to go all the way down to your low back. And then lift all the way back up, stack your spine nice and tall. 2 more. This is called spine stretch, so really think about stretching your spine up and over rather than just collapsing towards your legs. Good, and then bring your hands behind your head, sitting up nice and tall. And then you're just gonna rotate around like you have a post going from your spine or your crown of your head into the floor, and then come back to the center. And then twist. So your elbows are gonna stay in your peripheral vision the whole time. Just rotating your ribs. So your legs stay totally still. If you see a foot or a knee creep in front of the other, you're rotating from the hips more than the ribs. And then last one to each side. The center, last one. And then extend your legs as long as it's comfortable for you. Extend your arms out to the side. Same thing, twist and rotate. And then like reach forward like you're gonna saw your pinky on your left side and stack your spine all the way up and then twist and rotate. Lift your bottom or the back pinky up so that arm doesn't fall towards the floor. Twist and rotate. So pinky toe, pinky on the back hand. Once more to each side. Rotating from the ribs, twist and reach. Last one. Good, and then plant your feet on the floor. Plant your hands, your wrists, your fingers rather, can be pressed towards you. And then curl yourself up like you're doing a bridge. And then you're gonna come onto your heels and bring your butt back behind your legs or behind your arms. Your calves can reach the floor, that's fine. And then lift your hips up. And if this is too much on your shoulders, you can just come into a small bridge. We're gonna do one more, lift your hips up. And lower yourself all the way back. And lift yourself all the way up. And then peel yourself all the way down back towards the floor. Extend your legs long. We're gonna do one more spine stretch. Up and over your legs. Maybe they get a little straighter now. Stack your spine all the way back up. Hands behind your head. Twist to the right. To the center and left. And then arms come out to the side, one more saw to each side. Reach for the pinky toe, lift the back leg. And again. And then plant your feet, plant your hands. Curl your tailbone under, come up into that little bridge. And then send your hips back between your hands. And then back forward. And again, if this is too much, you're just gonna have your hands on the ground and then curl your tailbone under and then lower it back down. And then lower your hips all the way down and come to stand up. I'm gonna move my mat out of the way. So if you have light weights, you can use them. I don't, but that's fine. You're just gonna stand with your feet about hip distance and you want your knees or your legs externally rotated from your hips, and then have your knees track over your toes, but you're slightly turned out, and then stand all the way back. And as you squat down, thinking about keeping your tailbone tucked under slightly, your knees tracking right over your hips, and then squeeze your heels towards one another. Lift your pelvic floor as you come up. 4 more. 3, 2, last one. And then stay halfway down. You can bring your legs a little wider if you need. And you're just gonna start to pulse down. And then keep thinking about drawing your heels in, and you'll feel the very bottom of your glutes start to engage. Knees stay wide over your toes for 4, 3, 2, last one. Come into parallel here, but your legs are still wide. Come over to the right, extend and get a stretch through your left leg, and then over to whatever. I said right side, right stretch. The side you're going to, you'll get a stretch on the opposite leg. All the way back up. Again, press through your heels, but also make sure that your toes are pointing forwards. And then really press through the big toe side. And don't forget about the pinky toe side. 2 more. Last one. Stay over to the left. You can walk your right foot in a little if you need. You're gonna bring your weight all the way onto your left leg. Your knee is forward, your hip is in line with your knee, and you're gonna lift your right leg up and tap it down. And lift it up and tap down. You can also do this standing if it's too much on your hip. 4. Pressing through your whole foot. Balance is obviously key here. Ribs are connected towards your hip. For 3, 2. Last one. Lower your right leg, stand all the way up, and then come over to the left. And then stand all the way back up. And just shift your weight again from one side to the other. If you want to adjust your stance at any point, do what makes sense for you. 2 more. Last one. Come up and over onto the right. Stay as low as you can or come all the way up, doesn't matter. You're gonna float your left leg up and then tap it back down. And you may not lift one side as high as the other. Okay. 4, 3, 2. Last one, lower that leg down, come back into the center, into a squat, lift all the way up, and back down. Your legs can be parallel or externally rotated, doesn't matter. 4 more. 3, 2. Last one. Stay down. I'm going to move my feet until they're parallel. For 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and last one. And then come to stand at the back of your mat. Roll yourself down, let your knees be soft. Rock from one side to the other. And then walk yourself out into all fours. Bring your right leg forward and then just lift your hips up. Tuck your tailbone under and then press the whole shape forward and get a little stretch through your left side. And then switch sides. This song also has some glute things. Tuck your tailbone under and shift your whole weight forward. Good. And then come to face forward so you have space on either side. Reach your arms out to the side. Reach up and over into a modified side plank. Reach your right arm overhead and then bring your knee and arm in towards your right side. So right ribs towards right hip. 4 more. 3. Abs drawing. Ribs towards your hips. 2. Last one. Reach your arm and leg long. Circle your leg for 5. 4, 3, 2, 1. Reverse for 5, 4, 2. Last one. Lower your knee. Lift yourself all the way up. Over to the other side. Reach your left leg long. Left arm overhead. Draw your rib towards your knee. Or rib towards your hip, rather. Your knee comes in. Don't worry about reaching your knee towards your elbow. For 4, 3, 2. Last one, extend your leg and then start to circle for 3, 2. Last one, reverse for 3, 2. Last one, and then come all the way up over to the other side. And then just lower and lift that leg for 5, 4, 3, 2. Last one, and then bend the knee towards your butt, reach forward through the thigh, and then extend. Sorry, reach forward, keep opening through the thigh. 2. Last one, come all the way up, over to the other side. Lift and lower for 5, 4, 3, 2. Last one, keep your leg lifted, bend and extend. 2. Last one, reach your arm and leg overhead, stretch, and draw your right knee in, or leg, sorry, you're staying up the same side, for 4, 3, 2, last one, keep your leg long, circle for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, reverse for 5, 4, 3, 2, last one, come all the way up, over to the other side, this is the last time, for 5, 4, 3, 2, last one, circle for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, reverse, and then we get to stretch out our glutes. 3, 2, 1. Oh, I'm dying. Okay, come on to your back. Cross your right ankle over your left leg, and then bring it in towards your chest. Reach your hips towards the floor, and then think about externally rotating from the top of that right thigh. And then lower your legs down, switch sides. Tailbone presses down to the mat, externally rotate through the left leg. Good, hold on behind your thighs and lift yourself all the way up. And then you're gonna come onto the knees. You can also bend forearms eating this up. So tuck your tailbone, or reach your legs long, and then reach yourself up into a downward dog, and then come forward into your plank. Think about lifting and folding from the hips, and then extending long through the crown of your head and your heels. Your feet can be about hip distance, or a tiny bit wider if that feels good. 3 more like this. 2. Last one. Good. Pause here. You can be on your forearms or on your hands, but you're going to bend one knee and then the other. If you're on your forearms, your butt can be lifted a little in the air. Think about running in place, lifting the backs of your knees. 4 more. 3, 2. Last one. Drop the knees, lift up onto your hands. And then mountain climbers here. So your right knee in and then your left leg going at whatever pace feels good for you. My hands are sliding off of this mat. 3 more. 2. Last one. And then back to your down dog. So we're gonna do 6 this time through. 4 more. So you can count for yourself, or just stop when you feel like it. 2. Last one. Bend and straighten one knee. 4. 2. Last one, mountain climbers in and in. Obviously, all this can be done on your knees or on your forearms as well. 2. Last one, drop your knees, sit back onto your heels. Same thing again. Lift your hips and then come forward into your plank. This is your only planking song. 3 more. 2. Last one. Bend your knees. And again, if you're on your all fours, you're extending one leg back behind you. 2 more. Last one. And then knees in for mountain climbers. And if you're on your knees, you're just bringing one knee in. For 3. Last one. Lift your hips and back into your plank. And back up, drop your knees, and come back onto your heels. All right. Now, if you can also hear that, I don't know if it's the headphones. Okay. Knees are underneath your hips. You're going to bring your right leg parallel towards the floor. Open through the hip and then tap the knee down and tap it down. For 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. Last one, leave it up. Lift it up. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 3, 2. Last one. Tap your left calf with your right knee and then lift it back up. Do a slight internal rotation and then bring it back to neutral. And then internal rotation and then parallel, not going into external rotation. 3 more. 2. Last one, keep it lifted, pulse it up for 8, 7, 6, 5, 3, 2, 1. Lower that leg down, switch sides. Full range of motion here. Up the knee down and lift. This will win sweatiest class for sure. Lift it up for 4, 3, 2, last one, leave it up for full for 10, 9, 8. You can almost just think about squeezing the glute where it meets the hamstring and not like even worrying about lifting the leg. 2, last one, cross, tap, and then lift it back up. So internal rotation and neutral. Internal and neutral. Woo. And lift for 4, 3, 2, last one, keep it lifted, pulse it up. 4, 3, 2, last one, drop the right leg down, extend the left leg long, float it up, tap it down. Lift and down for 5, 4, 3, 2, last one, keep it long, bend the knee, bend it long, bend it in, extend for 3, 2, the thigh doesn't move, just the lower leg. Last one, bend it in, switch sides. 5, 4, One sec, start at the read out. Okay. Come to lay on your stomach. This is the last song, and then the song is stretching. So bring your arms stacked, palms one on top of the other, and rest your forehead on your hands. Pelvis presses into the mat, so your pubic bone and your hips are reaching down, lengthening through your low back, and then your abs draw away from the floor, and then float your head, neck, and shoulders up by reaching your torso or your sternum forward, sliding your shoulder blades down towards your hips, and then float yourself back up and lower down. 4 more like this. 3, 2, last one. Extend your arms out long, lift your right arm and your left leg, and switch sides. Don't worry about your upper body, just have your nose floating off the floor for 6, 5, 4, lifting from where the thigh meets the glute, 2, last one, lift everything up and back down. Lift the arms and legs and lower down. All 4 limbs, not all 4 things, lift together. 2 more. You can reach from your thumbs up to keep your chest nice and open. Last one, lower all the way down. Shake your hips from one side to the other. Bring your hands right underneath your shoulders. Keep your knees down and press yourself up. So you're in a modified push-up position. You're going to stay here. Tuck your tailbone under, lengthen through the front of your hips and your low back, and then reach your elbows back by your sides, coming down as low as feels comfortable, and then press back up. So lift your pelvic floor. Exhale as you come in, drawing your ribs towards your hips in the front, elbows back towards your side. 3 more. 2. Last one. Lower all the way back down. Reach your arms long, right arm, left leg. Alternating sides. You can start to lift your head a little bit more if it's comfortable, but make sure that you're not in your low back. So press your pubic bone into the floor. Make sure you're drawing your ribs toward your hips still. It seems counterintuitive even on your stomach, but just think you're standing. 3, 2, last one. And then reach your arms up, circle them back around, and start to pulse your arms up towards the ceiling. Your chest stays lifted. Reach your sternum forward for 4, 3, 2, last one. Keep your arms lifted, float your legs up, and now flutter your arms and legs back behind you. Your neck is long, gaze is at your mat. 4, 3, 2. Last one, lower everything down. Hands underneath your shoulders, press yourself up. 8 push-ups, one more time. Tuck your tailbone under, lengthen through the spine, crown of your head away from your knees and heels. Lower down, press up. Make sure you're pressing through your whole hand. Ribs draw in towards one another. 3, 2. Last one. Back onto your heels. Take a stretch for a second. And then come all the way back down. You can have your arms long again. Opposite arm, opposite leg to swim. And if it feels good, you can lift everything up and you can swim from the hovering position, but I'm gonna keep alternating one and then the other. Neck is nice and long. 3, 2. Last one, lift your arms and legs, sweep your arms back by your side. Pulse your arms and legs both up now together. Abs draw towards your spine. 4, 3, 2. Last one. Press yourself back onto your heels. Bring your knees nice and wide. Roll your forehead from one side to the other. Stretching out your neck gently. And then press your hands and your upper arms and even your armpits towards the floor. And then take an exhale and feel your chest sink towards the floor a little bit more. And then keeping that, walk yourself over towards the left side. Reach back through your right sitting bone and then out through your right fingertips. So you're not just collapsing onto that left side, you're really getting a stretch through the right. And then come back through the center and over to the left. Same thing, reach back now through, or now you're reaching towards the right. Left sitting bone reaches back behind you. Reach your chest and armpits towards the floor. Reach long through your left fingertips. And then come all the way up. Have your feet together, so you have like a little V. Knees are right underneath your hips. Tuck your tailbone under, and then just let your whole body come back so you're in one shape. Stretching through the front of your thighs, arms come long, and then come all the way back up. One more time like this. And then bring your arms up overhead. Sweep your right arm back and look towards your right hand as you twist and rotate back, and then come all the way up. And then to the left, keep tucking your tailbone under so you're in one long line. So your hips and ribs move back at the same rate. One more time, to the left. Good, and then come to sit with your left shin in front of you, your right shin perpendicular. Reach your left arm up and over, side bend over towards the right. And then over to the other side. One more time to each side. Reaching up and over again rather than collapsing. Last time to the left. And then just swap your legs around. So right shin is in line with the front of your mat, left leg perpendicular, and then reach up and over to the left. Really think up and over. And then to the right. And then once more to each side. And to the left, or whatever, to the other side. And then come on to all fours. Bring your right foot forward, tuck your left leg under, and then lift your chest so you're getting a stretch through the front of your left thigh, and then reach up and around. Feel your right hip come back underneath you, and take a nice twist. And lower that arm down, and then come back onto your heel, stretch out the hamstring on the right side. And then come back, bring your left foot forward, hands planted, tuck your right foot under, get a stretch to the front of that right thigh. And then feel your left hip come underneath you, rotate through the torso, keep reaching back through your left, or your right heel rather. And then plant your right hand down, or right knee, and then come back onto your hips. And then bring that leg underneath you. Hands come down one more time. Curl your spine up towards the ceiling, tuck your toes under, reach yourself up into a downward dog. Heels come down towards the floor, and then gently bend your knees. Walk yourself back and then hang for a second. Let your head be heavy. Reach your neck towards the floor, or crown of your head rather, not your neck. Curl your tailbone under, draw your abs away from your thighs, and then peel yourself up one vertebrae at a time. Let your shoulders stack on top of your spine, then your neck and your head. Reach your arms up overhead, and then press them down like you're a little corkscrew. And crown of your head goes up towards the ceiling. And then slowly let your arms find their place by your sides, and you are all finished. Thank you.